WCNC Charlotte. This is Flashpoint, where power and politics collide and the tough questions get asked and answered.
Thanks for joining us here on Flashpoint. I'm Ben Thompson. This week, we are focusing on the heart of Charlotte, Uptown, the home of Trade and Tryon, Bank of America Stadium, and offices to some of the biggest corporations in the world. But in the years following the pandemic, Uptown has seen an uptick in crime, fewer workers going into the offices, and nightlife heading to its increasingly popular neighbor, South End. In a few minutes, I'll speak with one of the Charlotte City Council members who represents Uptown. But first, joining us now from Charlotte City Partners, CEO Michael Smith and Senior Vice President of Economic Development, James LeBar. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Ben. Great to be with you.
James, you told one of my colleagues last September that Uptown, the workforce is about 65 to 70% of pre-pandemic levels. Knowing that workforce is a lifeblood of Uptown Charlotte, have we made any progress there?
Yeah, great question, Ben. Yeah, the workforce of Uptown and South End is a key ingredient as today's economy and into the future. Right now, as we're seeing people more and more come into Uptown and South End to work, we're right in that 70% of pre-pandemic levels that we've seen since the end of 2022 as we're going into the beginning of 2023, heading into spring. And again, we'll continue to watch to see how that number increases over time.
I was going to say, just to follow up on that, I mean, now that most companies are back, some sort of schedule, whether it's hybrid or not, I mean, is there a thought that you can go higher than this 70%, or is that the new normal?
So we firmly believe it's going to be higher for a couple of pieces. So over time that we've seen, the rhythms have changed, where more people are coming into the office to find that value, to find that competitive edge, whether it be to mentor younger people or to collaborate with people. The other thing is that people continue to move to Charlotte, and with that follows jobs. So the number of jobs is also increasing in the Charlotte region, and the more jobs that come, that percentage will continue to increase as people come in, whether it be 1 day a week or 5 days a week or somewhere in between of 2 or 3. So we're expecting that number to increase because our economy continues to improve.
Ben, I think the thing to remember there is what we're hearing from our major employers is they are hungry to restore culture and collaborative environments, because it's those collaborative environments that allow them to be able to build culture that differentiates them from their competitors. And that happens in a workplace where people are together. So we think there's going to be a real concerted effort by major employers to get people back together.
Michael, I'll ask you this, can Uptown be what it was in 2019 if people are only coming into the office, though, 3 days a week?
So, Ben, our goal is not to return to 2019. It's to become better. It's to become what we're supposed to be next. And this is the biggest disruption of our generation was this pandemic, and the place of urbanity has been shifted. And we think it's going to become a more complete place. We're actually excited about it. We know we want to significantly grow it as a neighborhood and as a destination, because what we found is it was such a major employment center. We're proud of what we've done over the last 4 decades, but there's more work to do in making it more balanced and a more complete place.
I'll tell you what, you look at our skyline, and this has been true. I mean, Mike, I've been interviewing you for 15 years now, it seems, and I always talk about the skyline because the skyline's always growing. There's always cranes in the sky. There's always more construction. Through the pandemic, there's construction. There's still construction. The skyline now extends to South End. Does it give you any concern at the pace that we're growing, considering that work culture has changed a bit?
No, cities are either growing or they're dying. We are outpacing our competitors. What excites us as a team is we're a top 20 MSA that continues to achieve top 10 MSA results, which means we are challenging that next tier of cities. And you have to continue to create new inventory to be able to grow jobs. And with us having, between 80 and 130 people a day moving to our region, we've got to continue to grow jobs to be able to complement and really respond to the incredible talent that keeps choosing our market.
where do you? I'll ask you both this question. So try to think of creative, different answers. Where do you see Uptown 10 years from now? What will Uptown 2034 or 2033 look like? James, I'll go with you first.
Sure. So I think to Michael's point, it's really about the balancing of the neighborhoods. So more residents living in Center City. One of the things that the pandemic has informed all cities across the country is that if you have residents living near those places to work, that really supports small businesses. That supports those large employers. It also supports each one of those residential units to be an active, engaging place where you're living next to other people that share common interests, but also it brings in a ton of diversity. So that's a really big piece. The other thing I think in 2034 that will really come onto the scene is enhanced mobility options. So really with Silver Line coming in, whether that's active in 2034 or like there's active construction happening with it, be super exciting where there's all these different ways in order that you're connected inside the neighborhoods, but also connected outside into the region, whether you're coming on the Blue Line, Silver Line, the Gold Line, connecting those pieces and other pieces of micromobility, connecting all those different pieces of those complete neighborhoods.
Michael, I'll give you a chance to take a shot at that as well. Where do you see Uptown in 10 years?
Yeah, so I would commend two documents to your viewers. One is our State of the Center City report, which they can find on our website, and also our 2040 Center City Vision Plan. Our city has this incredible rhythm of every 10 years casting a 20-year vision. We've been doing it since 1966 with the Odell Plan. And we just adopted the 2040 Vision Plan. We will be a center city that is more welcoming and inclusive, that is much more connected, that has, as James called out, great mobility options, a much denser place, hopefully 2x the number of residents. So we've got about 35,000 now. What if we had 70,000 residents in 10 years? It'd be incredible. It will continue to be our major employment hub. It will be more balanced. You will have even more hospitality options. We look forward to this. And then lastly, it'll be a place that continues to grow beyond 277. You've seen in this last decade how South End has become this national phenomena. I am reached out to by my counterparts around the world wanting to know what South End is, which is wonderful. You will see us growing to the west and to the east and to the north, and our CBD continuing to expand beyond 2.5 square miles to 2x that.
Got up more of our conversation with Charlotte Center City partners and Uptown's competition with its neighbor to the south.